What are the implications of the horrific terrorist attack in Washington, D.C.? Take a look at this clip over here where they talk to Mark Levin about his perspective as to what the cause and what the effects of this attack is going to be. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch.
You know, to make sense of all this, well, not to make sense of it, but to talk about the straight line, the same attitude you see in the college campuses, the same celebration you saw October 7th with the killing of Jews over in Israel is the same attitude of this 30-year-old last night in Washington, D.C. Proud to kill. Mark Levin is with us now, the host of this great show over the weekend. Mark, your thought about what we just witnessed hours ago.
Well, my thought is this. I'm not a rabbi and I'm not a diplomat, so I'll call it as I see it. The West is weak. They're weak against this fusion of these Marxists and these Islamists. They're spending hundreds of billions of dollars in our country and throughout Europe. Qatar is number one. Communist China is number two. That's not a mistake. That's not a coincidence. They're trying to destroy us from within. President Trump talks about the enemy within. This is the enemy within. We see it. There's a Kristallnacht taking place in our country every day and throughout Europe every day. Jews are not safe in every capital in Europe, and now they're not safe in our capital. Now, we always are sort of behind Europe in its decline over a period of years. We need to learn and see what's taking place. This isn't about free speech, so the radical libertarians, in the face of this onslaught, would have us commit suicide. This is being funded by Qatar and other countries. There's a funding network. There are more Islamist front groups in this country, terrorist front groups in this country. They multiply like rabbits. Congress is not doing enough to stop this. I know the administration is doing yeoman's work, unlike the prior administration. This is what happens when you have open borders and unfettered and unvetted immigration, particularly from the Middle East. Our courts are not capable by ideological and administrative processes to deal with. In fact, they are obstructing efforts by this administration to deport the enemy, and they are the enemy. They're not an adversary. They're not a bunch of punks just with big mouths. They're marching through the streets like no Nazis ever have, like no Klansmen ever have in our country, calling for the destruction of the United States of America, the overthrow of the West, burning the American flag, chasing Jewish students on college campuses, threatening elderly Jews who hold signs on the streets peacefully, attacking our synagogues. Now, I say this to my fellow Americans. Is this what we want? Is this who we are? Because the ruling class is letting us down. Seal the damn borders, which is what President Trump is doing. Stop every damn penny coming into this country from these terrorist states. I don't care if they put smiles on their faces and hold seminars or whatever the hell they're doing. They're the enemy. They're the enemy. They funded 9/11. 9/11 wasn't even about Jews or Israel. It's about us. They killed over 2,000 of our people. Let the Israelis win their war against Hamas. Stop holding them back. They killed over 1,200 of their people in the most heinous ways, so horrific that the videos haven't been released on any single cable or network television show. That's how horrible it is. If you want to act like a subhuman, you need to be treated like a subhuman. These terrorist organizations, they don't think like we do. They don't think like the West. They see weakness because there is weakness. They've all but destroyed our Ivy League schools, and they're working now in K through 12. What are we going to do? Yell the First Amendment? Free speech? What are we going to do? Allow them to keep pouring money into our country, buying sporting events, buying politicians, buying businesses, and then pretend when they put smiles on their faces and they're driving around in their Mercedes-Benz that they aren't the terrorists that they are? How many more reports have to be published about the amount of money that's being poured into this country by these terrorist states like Qatar, like Iran? We can allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon? The president says no. Isn't it time that the entire nation says no, rather than a debate on whether we can manage a nuclearized Iran? They want to destroy us. They've tried to assassinate our president. How many more signals do they need to send us? What else do they need to do? They are eating away at our country from within. Europe has basically been conquered. We need to put our foot down. These two precious human beings executed in cold blood. And let me tell you something, Brian. In 3 days, we'll be on to the next subject. Never even think about them again. They took hostages. They raped them. They murdered them. They starved them. They tortured them. They executed them. They're still 20 of them, in tunnels in Gaza. And the Israelis are being told to back off. Our media uses Hamas statistics, Hamas lies, to turn the world against the Jews in Israel and against the United States, to affect public opinion. The same American media that lied about Biden lie about these terrorist regimes and what's taking place in Gaza. And our Congress, the Bernie Sanders, the Talibs, the Omars, the AOCs, they have a lot to answer for with this Marxist Islamist crap. And the fact of the matter is, they boycott the leader of Israel, Netanyahu, because they hate Israel. They say, oh, we don't mind Israel. It's Zionism we oppose. Zionism is the establishment of the state of Israel. It's the only indigenous people on the face of the earth that are now allowed to be indigenous. So we have to have a discussion in this country, but I'm not a rabbi and I'm not a diplomat. So I'll pray and I'll talk, but it's time for action.
So, Mark, I do find there's a little ignorance when it comes to some of the people that are in the middle of the street, too. They're getting away with it because they say free Palestine. But now you have the person that committed this act saying free Palestine as well. But they've been marching in the middle of the street with Hamas flags. They have been denying October the 7th the whole time. And people think they're just dumb kids. We got a report that's from the hostages that were released that they were communicating with the college campuses. It's like a sleeper cell that's right in front of us, and we don't seem to be paying attention to it.
That is brilliantly put. And like this guy, Khalil, isn't it funny that Democrats are defending him? Every disgusting reprobate. They circle the wagons to defend them. The Constitution that they've been trashed and attacked. The framers who wrote it, they attacked and trashed. Now they wave it around like there's some First Amendment right to be a mouthpiece and a leader for a front group that seeks to overthrow our colleges and destroy our learning. The West is under attack. This is a war against the West. People need to understand the mentality that we're up against, whether it's the Marxists or the Islamists. They have a joint venture to take out Europe and now the United States from within. Just as Reagan destroyed the Soviet Union without firing a shot, they intend to destroy the United States without firing a shot. They're doing a hell of a good job of it. Look at the rot in our colleges and universities. We scream about the First Amendment and free speech. We don't even have academic freedom. The faculty hires the faculty. They hire people of the same ideology, the same mentality. We're brainwashing our children. We taxpayers are paying for this. We parents are paying the tuition for this. We have a say in this. This isn't about free speech. This isn't about civil liberty. This is about whether we survive as a free nation. And it is happening now. Donald Trump is fighting it as best as he can. The Democrats are basically the umbrella for all these reprobates and malcontents and so forth and so on. They have them within their own midst. And we have some, I don't even say we, they're not Republicans, some of these phony isolationists who have their own platforms and so forth out there. Israel's going to drag us into a war. We're in a damn war. Don't you understand? They're in our country right now. They want to kill us. They want to take down our towers. They're destroying our universities. It's not a matter of Israel dragging anybody into anything. This is a war on London. It's a war on Paris. It's a war on Amsterdam. It's a war on Washington and New York. And it's happening in front of us right now. Whether the media wants to report it fully or not, it is taking place right now.
Mark, you mentioned AOC and you mentioned Omar. Well, someone in D.C., a reporter asked Ilhan Omar a comment. Can you at least just comment on this? And she didn't. Listen.
Congresswoman Omar,
can I get your reaction to the shooting that happened in D.C. last night?
I'm going to go for now.
I'm going to go for now, Mark. Couldn't even say condolences for the family.
Yeah, because she's an Islamist. Let's stop playing games. She's an Islamist who got elected to Congress as part of what Donald Trump calls the enemy within. It's time to take our mittens off and do a reality. She's an Islamist. Talib is an Islamist. Bernie Sanders is a Marxist. I dare them to sue me. I dare them to sue me. I will counterclaim. I will get all the information I need. I will expose these people in civil court because they cannot be exposed criminally. I will do it myself if I have to. This is the enemy within. Our media, some of it's bought and paid for, some of it's not, day after day, spewing the Hamas propaganda about casualties. Even Hamas amended the casualties, and they're still spewing the casualties. There are Jews that are still in tunnels in Gaza. Who put them there? Who attacked Israel on October 6th? Free Palestine. They had their own country. It's called Gaza. What they mean by free Palestine is destroy the Jews, kill the Jews, get rid of Israel. I have a message for them. Israel's not going anywhere. Israel's not going anywhere. Persians couldn't do it. The Romans couldn't do it. The Babylonians couldn't do it. Hitler couldn't do it. And they're not going to do it either. And I have another message for them. Donald Trump is president of the United States. The United States not going anywhere either. And he is an all-hands-on government effort to fight this anti-Semitism, and I couldn't be prouder of what he's trying to do. It would be nice if we had some help from Hakeem Jeffries. It would be nice if Chuck Schumer would stop writing books and actually do something about it. But the Democrats aren't the ones that held hearings about what's going on in our colleges. The Republicans are. And I don't say this to be a partisan. I say this as an American who sees exactly what's taking place.
So, Mark, what do you think is going to happen out of these talks that could take place this weekend? Word is that Israel is losing patience, and they just want to take out what they can of Iran's nuclear apparatus. What would you think if Israel just did it on their own?
You know, the president likes to say America first. Well, I'm sure Netanyahu has to say, well, Israel first. And while they love America, they love us, they have to protect their people. And for them, it's life and death. Just as it was for us after 9/11. We didn't ask Israel's opinion, Europe's opinion, Asia's opinion, anybody else's opinion. We knew what we had to do. The prime minister knows what he has to do. Hamas must be defeated. I don't care how many envoys we send over there and all the leaks to Axios and all the rest. Hamas must be defeated. That's number one. Number two, Iran must not get a nuclear weapon. And if there's a deal and the Israelis don't feel it's sufficient, then the Israelis need to take care of business. It's that simple. Because President Trump won't be president forever. These guys play long ball. They not only want to destroy the state of Israel, they want to destroy the United States. Their war is not just with Judaism, it's with Christianity, it's with other Muslims that don't embrace their Islamist viewpoint. They slaughter their own people more than anybody else does.
So true.
This is evil on earth, and people need to understand that.
He's absolutely right. A lot of people think about the trouble in the Middle East as a Middle East problem, as an Israel problem, even as a Jewish problem. This has nothing to do with Jews or Israel or the Middle East. This is a group of people that wants to rain terror upon civilization. They want to destroy the West. You ever notice something that happens at these protests? You ever notice the pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas protests that you'll see not one American flag? Not one flag of the country in which they're protesting, like in support and solidarity with their own country that they're living in. In Britain, you won't see a British flag. In America, you won't see the American flag. In Australia, or across the board, you won't find the flag of the country that these people are actually protesting. You'll find plenty of Palestinian flags. You'll find plenty of Hamas flags. You'll find plenty of other flags and banners that represent all sorts of terrorist activities. Because the goal is not only about Israel. The goal is about Europe. The goal is about America. The goal is about Western civilization and really civilization as a whole. This is barbarism masquerading under religious pretense and wanting to destroy a civilization, wanting to destroy Western civilization. And there is that famous phrase in the Middle East that's uttered by the terrorists all the time, that after Saturday comes Sunday, meaning that after we deal with those that celebrate the Sabbath on Saturday, namely the Jews, it's after Saturday comes Sunday, we deal with the people that celebrate their Sabbath on Sunday, namely the Christians. This is not a Jewish problem. This is not an Israel problem. This is something that needs to be dealt with by all civilized countries, and especially the United States, which is a light unto the nations, which champions itself as being a good example to the rest of the world. We need to take leadership and ownership and make sure that this type of activity stops dead in its tracks. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.